I got up that morning and I was curious because I had never been to an anti-war demonstration. I went with a couple of my friends from the floor on the right hall that I lived in, and we walked over to the Commons to see what was going on. And not a whole lot was happening. You know, we all thought we had the right to assemble and to redress our grievances with our government. There was nothing violent. There was nothing happening until the National Guard in their Jeep with one of the campus security and a bullhorn saying, "You're gathered illegally." They said, "If you don't disperse, we will disperse you." All of a sudden, I saw them taking their helmets off and putting their gas masks on. And the next thing you know, these tear gas canisters come flying through the air. And they dispersed us. But the thing is, they weren't satisfied. They kept chasing us. I went up the hill by the pagoda there between Taylor Hall in that patch, went down the sidewalk, across Prentice driveway, crossed Midway, and into a gravel parking lot. And I remember taking a couple of washcloths that I had in my pocket inside of a baggie to wash the tear gas off my face. Then the next thing I know, I saw them huddle, the National Guard, and then they started back up the hill. And I thought, well, I'll just follow along. And I'd stop at the Union and get a cup of coffee. And then I saw them turn in unison and lower their rifles. I said, oh my God, they're gonna start shooting. And I jumped on the ground. I could hear the rifle reports from the bullets being fired. And then all of a sudden, bullets started landing around me. And I thought, oh my God, they're shooting at me. And then all of a sudden I got hit. I realized that there were still bullets hitting the ground right over. I mean, I could hear them right close to my head. And then all of a sudden it stopped. And then it re-erupted, but this time it had more of an edge to it. They were seeing the students on the ground. They were seeing Jeffrey Miller bleeding out on the ground. And 13 of us weren't getting up. And the ambulance came and took me away. The rifles that they used were the same rifles that most GIs carried in World War II. So it's a deadly killing machine. And it killed 4 students and wounded 9 people here at Kent State University. My father went to his grave regretting the fact that the rifle he carried was the rifle he used to shoot me. And I still have a bullet in me. And I think of my father regularly about that. It was hard on him. They put me into an induced coma because they broke 3 ribs, took the lower lobe of my left lung out, and sewed up the holes in my diaphragm. 3 vertebrae that were shattered, thoracic 9, 10, 11 were shattered. Woke up on Saturday or Sunday later after being shot on Monday. And they told me that I was a spinal cord injured person, but I could live a full life. I could do lots of things, finish my education, get a job, work. They were real positive. When I came back to Kent in January of 1971, there weren't a lot of buildings that were accessible. And so I felt it was important to be part of the making of this campus wheelchair and other disabilities accessible. We all played a part in it, all of us who were disabled, because we were the eyes and ears and pointing out all the places that needed to be addressed for accessibility. Kent State tried to sweep May 4th under the rug. They didn't want to deal with it for a while, but Michael Schwartz, he unlocked the door. And then the succeeding presidents kept opening it, and now we have our current president who does a great job of making sure that remembered as a piece of history. And it's a place to learn, and a place to reflect, and a place to inquire. And I feel at home again, finally. I get asked a lot about the obstacles and being in a wheelchair and all those things that happened to me at Kent State that led up to this, and why am I not angry about that? And I said, well, every college student has those challenges put in front of them. I just really only had one bad day at Kent State University. So the rest of my experience was just like anybody else. I'm still alive, thankfully. And I'm very blessed that I am alive, and I can tell this story, and I can encourage young people to grow and develop and be part of society.